Hello everyone, I'm D.
And I'm Jay.
You want to try that again?
Yes. And I'm R.
And together we are DJR Union. And today we're going to be going over some of the cards that they've recently revealed for Union Arena. Coming up, we have 1,000 Year Blood War Part 2 for Bleach, as well as Black Clover. So we're just going to jump right into things. We're going to go over some of the cards that are going to be coming out in Bleach first, and then we're going to jump into Black Clover because we have a little bit more on Black Clover. So let's start with Bleach.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
So first things first, we have the only real card that we're going to be talking about here, Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo Kurosaki.
The man.
The myth.
The legend.
For 4 energy.
4 energy. Already good. 4K plus. Mm-hmm.
Generates 1 energy, which, you know, that's kind of a standard for a raid card.
No, choose up to 2 characters with 2K or more BP on their opponent's front line, and they lose 1,500 BP until the end of turn.
Yep.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. On play, so pretty much like a little bit of Byakuya action going on.
You're nerfing 2 characters on the field, and odds are when you're nerfing those 2 characters, they're going to be your bigger characters on the field. Your enemy's rated characters, more to speak. Because, like, let's be honest, you're going to nerf the characters they can block with easier.
Yeah, they ain't going to feel so special afterwards when they're trying to block with that.
Oh, seriously.
And that's only on its when played ability. So it also has an ability that once per turn, place 1 Zangetsu or Getsuga card or with Getsuga in its name from your hand to the sideline. If you do, this card gets an additional 1k BP, and when attacking, I can draw up to 1 card until the 10th turn. So not only am I nerfing 2 of my opponent's characters, but I can also buff himself and generate a card from it if I have a Zangetsu or Getsuga card that I place into the sideline.
Yeah. And the best thing about this is that you're literally getting a bunch of Zangetsu and Getsuga support in this new set. So you're going to be seeing that a lot. But it says Zangetsu or Getsuga in its card name, which does include Getsuga Tensho, the kill card in purple. So if you want to throw that in the deck just to get rid of and add Ichigo to benefit Ichigo, you can.
Yeah, honestly, that ain't a bad option. Like I said, if you're trying to be frisky and you want to try to do some dual color action, just add a Getsuga to 1 or 2 in there. You can't use it.
Nope.
But hey, you can use it with this Ichigo Kurosaki just from having it in your hand.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help.
It
could.
It could.
And it's a raid trigger, so that'll be great in the long run. Let's just quickly go over some of the zero cost cards that we're going to be getting. So we have Giselle Jawil.
Basic. Place 1, sideline 1. Exactly. Nothing.
Ichigo.
Same thing. Literally the same card.
Except this one has a prize card that you can find the winner stamped Ichigo somewhere out there in your tournament. So go to your local card store and play the tournament and try to win the winner Ichigo. Rukia Kuchiki.
Rukia, which is father of Rukia, you know.
At the hand,
you know, basic.
Senjumaru Shutada.
Yes, because she does get a raid in this upcoming set.
Yes, she does. And it's going to be great to have her at your box hopper.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kenpachi Zaraki, because as we all know,
he's getting buff.
Yeah, he is.
Which, keep on the lookout, because we are going to be doing a quick depth profile of Kenpachi of Zaraki in celebration of the upcoming Volume 2 set. So be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah, Kenpachi Zaraki is definitely going to be a menace to deal with in Volume 2. So we're just going to show you guys what our Volume 1 deck profile looks like. And then, you know, when Volume 2 drops, we're going to show you how we build that. Introducing Black Clover.
Yes,
it's time to finally dive in.
Exactly, bro. We're dealing with Black Naruto now.
So here we are. This is the starter deck stuff. So first things first, we're going to be dealing with the 2 main cards in the starter deck, Asta and Yuno, which do go hand in hand. If you look at the card art, they kind of like go off the screen a little bit, almost like their swords are like next to each other. It's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. But I love the flavor behind it.
It's so good. I love it. So, 4 energy, 1 action, raid Asta. When played, place the top card of your deck face down underneath this character, and then you get to choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line. It loses all base abilities until the start of your next turn. So you are literally nullifying, which is Asta's whole gimmick, nullifying your opponent from their magic.
Yeah, so pretty much like I said, he nullifies magic. You have magic, you're fighting Asta, you might as well pack it up because you ain't using nothing against him. He's taking all your abilities away until your next follow-up turn. So anything that you have planned or you trying to protect yourself with, you just count that out the window because it ain't happening.
And it's great because you can target any of the pesky abilities that you could be dealing with. For example, this could potentially put it into the Esper Sisters. Nullify their abilities, Dang, they can't constantly farm. Thank God.
Oh. Damn.
Now let's talk about him when he attacks. Once per turn, you can place one face-down card that's underneath this character in the sideline, and if you do, he gains impact. When you play, you only place one card underneath him, and then when you attack, you get rid of that one card that you put underneath him. Unless there is a card later in the starter deck that puts cards underneath Asta, we don't know yet. It could be the that we need to look at, but unless that, we just have this Asta.
Yeah, because it does say once per turn, so in my mind it's thinking you're going to be activating this ability multiple times. So there's obviously going to be a way to get more cards under him.
Possibly.
Hopefully.
Play this character set to active on the field for 5 energy 2 action. He better be.
For 2 AP, it better come. Every single creature card at this point onward better come into action and to play active if they're going to be 2 AP and more than 4 energy.
Exactly. When this character attacks and is not blocked, draw 1 card.
Oh, lovely.
Pretty good.
See it.
And then when played, if Asta is on your field, choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line, move it to their energy line. So you're pretty much getting rid of a blocker.
Oh, some boogie woogie
when you
action?
play
I love to see it. Well, actually, because like I said, his whole gimmick is win. So he's just pushing people back left and right. Especially he's got the wind spirit and his wind drive form, so you love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a color trigger. Though I don't know if I'll be playing it as a 4 of.
Yeah, the red color triggers aren't too great because they only really work well early game, hence the 2500 or less BP. But who knows, because we are seeing a lot more Nullify Impact cards being used. So for decks that don't have the high BP Nullify Impact cards, this color trigger could come in handy for getting rid of Nullify Impact cards.
Exactly, so only time can tell pretty much.
Next up, in these starter decks, we are going to be getting a special promo pack, which comes with 4 cards, which are listed here below. You get 2 Astas, a and a Henry. And the thing about this is that each of these cards have an alt art that hasn't been released yet, but the art that can come into your pack is randomized. So you don't know if you're going to get this one alt art, this one, or this one. You just got to get lucky.
Get lucky. But I mean, at this point, if you're buying multiple starter decks, then I guess you can say luck is kind of on your side.
Yeah. But for some of these promo pack cards, they're pretty much really useful for the actual set, and we can use these cards to determine how the cards are going to be playing in the actual set when they release, because these cards are so important to the actual playstyle of the future decks.
Exactly.
So starting things off, we have Asta, 1 energy, 1 action in purple. Nullify Impact, pretty good at 2k BP. During your turn, if you have 4 or more other Black Bull affinity cards on your field, this character gains 1k BP.
Alright, so pretty much for 1 energy, 1 AP, it becomes a 3k beater with Nullify Impact. And it seems it's going to be doing like the similar game plan, like say Saitama Green with Metal Bat and the Heroes Association, as well as like Hashi does from Demon Slayer Yellow, where you have multiple affinity cards on the field, you start getting benefits. And I think purple Black Clover is going to be going into that direction, honestly.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an affinity style deck that you're going to be focusing on the Black Bull affinity. Henry Leyland. If you have 4 or more other Black Bull affinity cards on your field, this character gains an extra energy generation. On your main phase, switch this card to resting and pay an action point. Once per turn, you get to choose a Black Bull's hideout card on the field and activate its when played ability.
Now, I really do like that. One, because again, if you spoilers, if you haven't watched Black Clover, if you know Henry, you know that his whole Smith is that he's kind of tied to his to the Black Bull's hideout. And I really like that they added something extra versus just a simple 2 AP 1 action cards that just generate additional energy. No, there's an additional effect onto it, so you can activate the ability of the side card that I'm assuming is going to be coming with this deck.
Yes, and 100% the Black Bull's hideout, we don't know what its win played ability is, but one can only assume that it's going to be a good win played ability, considering the fact that we have the ability to reactivate that ability multiple times.
Exactly. So I'm hyped to see what the Black Bull's hideout card is going to be capable of.
Moving on, we have our 2 energy, 1 action Asta in green. You may treat this card as if its required energy is 3 while it is in your deck. It has Nullify Impact, and during your turn, if Yuno is on the field, this character gains 500 BP.
Alright, so what I'm led to believe by looking at from reading the first ability is that there's going to be a card in green that probably going to say something on the lines of like, look at the maybe top 4 to top 7 cards in your deck and take a card with energy 3 or less, no, or 3 or more, and either place it onto the field or place it in your hand. Which, I mean, in this case, since Asta in your deck counts as 3, you're going to be able to add it directly to your hand and place it onto the field. That's what I'm getting at when I read this effect.
And believe me when I tell you this, you are very close. You're very close to it. Yuno. Here we are. Yuno has step. When played, if Asta is on your field, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place any number of them on the top in any order, and place the remaining on the bottom in any order.
Okay, so pretty much it's another Scry 2.
Yep.
For the most part, Scry's Crew with step, you love to see it. It's just a good way to just set up your characters for later plays.
And now we're going to move on to the cards that are going to be in the main set for Black Clover. We are going to see some cards that deal with green. We're going to see some cards that deal with purple. And we're going to see some cards that deal with red. So let's jump right in. Alright, so starting things off, we have Dante Zogratis. And I feel like it's just great to start off with the villain. Let's just start here, and then we'll get to all the signature cards down here.
I ain't gonna lie. My man's mad ugly right now. Bro, why he looking like that, bro?
So for 5 energy, 1 action, when played, you get to choose up to 2 characters on your opponent's front line, and they lose 1 KBP until the start of your next turn, which is giving heavy vibes towards the Purple Code Geass side of things, where it's all about lowering BP.
Exactly. So, like I said, might just go ahead and just mimic what Code Geass is trying to, what Code Geass did, probably make some fine-tune or fine adjustments to test it out in this set, so we can only see going forward.
Also, he has a when attacking ability, you get to place the top 2 cards of your deck into the sideline.
Yeah. So that also leads me to believe, like, same thing. I think it's going to be like a combination between like Purple Code Geass and Purple Bleach, where you're going to be putting cards into your sideline to maybe have some trigger effect, where it's like similar to like Raid Ichigo to lower the BP more, or just flat out just straight up kill a character.
Alright, and then moving on, we have all these signature cards, which are going to be signed by the Japanese voice actors. We're starting off here with Purple Asta, 4 energy, 1 action. If you have 4 or more other Black Bull affinity cards on your field, which does indeed go with the Infinity style deck, this character gains Impact 1. The character battling this character loses Nullify Impact for the duration of this battle, and when sidelined, you may place 1 Black Bull's affinity card from your hand into the sideline, and if you do, play up to 1 base card of this rated character set to resting onto your front line. So let's talk about it.
So I do want to know, for people who are trying to understand the affinity and how they work, please note on the first line of text that if you have 4 or more other Black Bull affinity cards on your field, meaning that in total you'll have to have 5, including Asta, to be able to activate the effect that give it impact. And then also really good the fact that it also has Nullify Impact, meaning that
he doesn't have Nullify Impact. He nullifies their Nullify Impact.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say. So if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to have Nullify Impact to protect my characters, to protect my health, nah, he's getting rid of that entirely. Mm-hmm. So you can just get that out your head. If you have Nullify Impact in your card and you see a purple Black Clover deck going up against it, you might as well just pack it up.
Yep.
Might as well just pack it up.
And so other is definitely a keyword that you have to look out for on these cards, or else you're going to be accidentally breaking a few rules in the game. And I do want to point out his win sideline ability. He goes down, but he's not out, because you can place a Black Bull card from your hand to the sideline to place the base card underneath him back onto the field, set to resting into the front line. So when played effects on any lesser energy Asta that you're using to raid this Asta on top of will activate if there are any win played abilities. Not to mention, you're also going to be able to get another character back onto your field again, which is good, because then you're not at a disadvantage come your turn again.
Exactly. So it's a little bit of more extra value, and it's like Asta says, not giving up is his magic.
Yami.
My man Yami, what does he do?
For 4 energy, 2 action. When played, if you have 6 or more other Black Bull affinity cards on your field, choose up to 1 character with 4k or less BP on your opponent's frontline and kill it. And when attacking, choose up to 1 character on your field with Black Bull's affinity, and it gains 1k BP till end of turn.
Alright, not bad. I am a little bummed out that it does not come to the field set to active, not gonna lie, but I guess this is their way of nerfing or keeping the card balanced. But it would be nice for it to come to the field active and flat out kill a character. I mean, for 2 AP, like I said, it has to be doing quite a bit. But I think even then, the fact of the matter, you're able to kill a character once it's played, and then when attacking, choose up to 1 character on your field and it gets another 1k BP. That's also pretty good as well. So you can definitely see that, especially when it's like you pair him up with, like, say, Asta. So swinging with a 5k or even like a 6k beater with impact on top of it.
Yeah, one of the great things about this card is the 2 action points is definitely worth it, because most 2 action point cards are just play a 2 action point card and it kills a 4K or less character. Not many of the 2 action point cards have an extra effect on top of it, so it's very good that you can, when play this character out onto the field into your energy line, for example, and just have it kill something off, and then on your next turn going in, when attack, choose any character on your field, which it says choose 1 character, which means you can indeed choose him, which is why there's a plus mark here. So you can buff up anything to give it the extra 1k to indeed help swing out later on after its when played ability, which is really good. It makes it worth the 2 action points.
Yeah, so I definitely see this as like a strat, like playing it on the back line, because there's nothing saying that it has to be played on the front line to activate its effect just when played. So yeah, I can see this. Play this on the back line, kill one of your opponent's characters, and then on your following turn, move it up and start doing some damage with it.
Asta. 3 energy, 1 action. Your opponent cannot activate draw abilities during trigger checks resulting from damage dealt by this character.
Now, let's just take a moment to talk about this ability and how extremely critical and broken this ability is.
First things first, check the link in the description below. We literally just talked about how strong draw triggers were, how we think draw triggers are the best triggers in the deck, or in the game. And this being the thing, just goes to emphasize that point we made.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, let me just put this in perspective. Imagine you're going against Esper Sisters. And I don't know if you know about Esper Sisters, but they have a lot of draw trigger cards that are in the deck. And you can go from going on an attack run against Esper Sisters with them having 0 cards in their hand to all of a sudden having up to 6 cards in their hand, and they have all the fuel they need to come back and kill you. Mm-hmm. Asta Pretty says, screw that nonsense. You're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! We're playing Union Arena because this is the type of game this is. And he says just that. He stops this in his place, and I really do like this card design because it helps stop the rise of some of that toxic gameplay.
Alright, now let's move on to the rest of his ability. During your turn, if Yuno is on the field, all characters on your field get 500 BP. And when attacking, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card has 3 required energy, this character gains impact until the end of turn. Place a revealed card on the top or bottom of your deck.
I'm sorry, what was that other card, that other Asta card that said it counts as 3 energy?
So yes, as we previously went over, there was the other Asta card that is a 2 energy card, but it says that as long as it's in your deck, it is 3 energy.
So if you reveal that card, it's 3 energy. This guy's gaining impact.
Yep.
And on top of that, if you have a Yuno on your field, all characters on your field are getting 500 AP. Not just Asta, not just Yuno, all characters. So all your characters are getting buff, and you're getting impact on top of that. And on top of that, you ain't drawing cards from your trigger abilities.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck.
My favorite thing about this is that it leads very high expectations for this deck, because it says you place the revealed card on the top or bottom of your deck. Meaning, it's very similar to what Blue Bomber is like, where you have to have a 2 or more energy card in order to start getting your benefits off. And you can place that card on the top or bottom of your deck after it's revealed. Therefore, you can just leave that card on the top if it meets the requirement you need, and just keep farming your ability triggers, or you put it at the bottom. So I'm thinking this is definitely an enhanced version of the Blue Bomber deck.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. You make a good point.
Next up, Green Yuno, 4 energy, 1 action. When played, if Asta is on your field, look at the top card of your deck, then place it on the top or bottom of your deck. Now, very similar to the other Yuno, where you get to scry 2, this Yuno gives you the ability to look at that top card of your deck and see if it's a 3 energy card and put it on the top or bottom wherever you need it, so that you can activate the bulk of your abilities. And also it has a when attacking, where you can reveal the top card of your deck, then place it on the top or bottom of your deck. But if the revealed card is a green character or sight card with 3 required energy and 1 AP cost, you may place 1 card from your hand into the sideline, then play that revealed card set to resting onto the field, or perform raid with it instead.
That's actually kind of broken.
Yes,
that's really good.
It's very strong.
That's really freaking good. Because now you're really because now this card is really capitalizing on that deck manipulation, especially that top deck manipulation, and trying to be like, oh, this is a 3 energy card. I'm gonna keep it on top because I'm gonna get the benefit off of it from playing Yuno. Yeah. Or like say you want to start off by playing Asta first, then play this Yuno, and then let's say that the next card that you reveal is another 3 energy raid Asta.
Yep.
you're gonna raid it again. Now you have three raids onto the field doing work.
And it's great because it happens when he's attacking. So as long as you met the requirements during your main phase, you can swing in with your unrated Astas and then know that revealed card on the top of your deck is a 3 energy Asta. Therefore, on Yuno's attack phase, after you've attacked with your Asta first, swing with Yuno, reveal the rated Asta, and then raid the Asta on top of the Asta that already attacked and get another attack.
Oh, snap. That's a 5 attack turn right there if you play your cards right. Heck, maybe even 6.
Yep, if you have 2 Yunos out, possibly 6. 2 Yunos, 2 Astas, you can possibly get 6 attacks out.
Oh, that's broken. That's broken. Oh, I really hope that the other green cards in this set really help with this ability, because this is just too good to pass up. Too good to pass up.
Moving over to red. For 5 energy, 1 action, we have Noel Silva. If you have used an event card this turn, this character gains 1 KBP and impact until end of turn.
Where did I read that effect before? I read it somewhere. It was on a yellow card.
When played, let's see if it follows suit. When played, this character gains all abilities listed below until the end of turn, if you have the required number of event cards in your sideline. Okay, this might not be the case.
Alright.
At 2 or more, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3k or less BP, and at 4 or more, your opponent must block this character's attacks if able. So it does not follow suit of the shall not be named, but it does indeed have a very interesting ability that revolves around event cards, it seems.
Exactly. So I guess, once again, it's like playing with the whole idea of event cards, but not going as to the wall as you know who went. And it doesn't seem like this effect's going to be hard to get to, because like I said, we use event cards a dozen, I should say, and Union Arena. So hitting that 2 event cards in your sideline, or even 4 event cards in your sideline, it's not going to be a hard task at all to start capitalizing off this effect.
Especially when you're using event cards like your kill card, which is an event card. Your what's the other one? Your restand AP card, which is an event card. And who knows what other event cards are going to be supporting this deck out. So off of 1 kill and 1 restand, you're already at 2 or more. So this character can't be blocked by a character with 3k or less BP until the end of the turn when it's played. So that's really good.
Yeah.
But to be able to also make your opponent have to block the character and not be able to safely block, or essentially, I say safely block, but be able to block with a chump character, they have to block with one of their more valuable characters.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like I said, because it's like bootleg snipe at this point. Bootleg snipe, because you still got your impact. They're gonna have to take one of their important characters and block with it, because they can't block with a 3k or less.
Yep.
Again, you're putting them in a bad situation. They're gonna make a plus. It's gonna mess them up.
Yeah, they're losing a valuable character, and they're still taking impact damage, because a 5k impact character, as long as you use an event card on the turn you play her, heck, you don't even need to use it on the turn you play her. Because anytime you activate an event card, she gets 1k in impact.
Exactly.
But if you use it on the turn you play her, they lose a valuable character that's more than 3k BP, and they're still taking that damage.
Precisely. So and like I said, it's 5 energy, but if we saw from what Goro can do in One Punch Man, getting the 5 energy is not going to be an issue for red.
Yeah. And let's be honest, there are still a few cards, not even probably, there are a few cards out there that will be able to meet this requirement and still protect them from impact. But still, we'll see how this deck plays when it comes out.
Exactly. Like, this is definitely a deck that I might be interested in building, I'm not gonna lie.
And then our last card we're going to be going over here is Mimosa.
Mimosa, her cousin.
4 energy, 1 action, 4 KBP. When played, draw a card and then choose one of the following. Reduce the AP cost of your next event card with 2 or less required energy you use from your hand this turn by 1. Thank God. Thank God. Or you may place 1 event card from your hand into the sideline. If you do, add up to 1 red character card with 1 AP from your sideline to your hand. So, first things first, this character is not going to be anything like the Esper Sisters, because yes, you're reducing the AP cost of the next event card by 1, but it has to have 2 or less required energy, which means the restand card is not going to be that much of a problem with you constantly being able to use the restand card for free, nor are you able to, from the looks of her second ability, fish out event cards from the sideline. Instead, you're fishing out characters from the sideline.
Yeah, so I really do like this as well, because as much as I do like enjoy Esper Sisters, I am not going to sit here and lie that Esper Sisters does create a toxic form of play for the game. Especially be able to ignore a set in mechanic. So to be able to limit it, saying, hey, let's not do what we did with One Punch Man and limit it to like 2 AP or less. I think this is the best way they can go about it, because it's not like saying, oh, we're just going to limit it to finals or specials. No, 2 energy or less. You're not going to be getting no kill card for free. Yeah. You ain't casting no restand AP card for free. All right, you are just getting your utility cards, and you're casting those for free to try to give you the edge there. No broken jump, and I really do like this approach to it.
Indeed. And if you want to hear or talk more about the Esper Sisters, click the link in the description below. We have a video talking about that.
Yes, sir.
And then just to end off the video, we have all the foil box toppers. We have our Zero Energy Asta.
Yeah.
Zero Energy Dante.
Okay.
Looking kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Look a lot better than his raid form.
I don't know what he's doing that raid form. He's looking kind of sus.
Medea Leona.
Yeah, she's gonna mess you up.
Yeah, so she's getting a raid, and I mean, we could have expected that considering how her brother is a prize card out there.
Exactly.
Zero Energy Yuna. Zero Energy Asta.
Exactly.
And Zero Energy Noelle with draw one, sideline one.
Okay, so more fuel for the fire. More fuel for the fire. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of as hype as I was with the Saitama set that came out. I'm feeling that same way for the Black Clover set, honestly, because there's some nice mechanics that I think that's really gonna shape up the meta.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I've honestly been looking forward towards the Black Clover set ever since they revealed it. I haven't been like too adamant about it, where I've been like talking about Black Clover nonstop, but I've been really excited for it because Black Clover is one of those anime that I did tune in like when it was first coming out, and I got some friends hooked on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
but it was a great watch, and I'm reading it now. So since the anime's gone, I've been reading it.
I need to start reading it too, because I was on that hopium. I was on that good hopium that it's gonna return, but I don't know that's gonna happen anytime soon. So I'm gonna have to start reading that manga. Cause from what people been saying, it gets crazy.
It gets crazy. It does.
Okay, so
can confirm.
Can confirm.
So yeah, we have Bleach, and we have Black Clover, and they're coming to us on May 30th. Except for the starter deck, which is going to be coming to us a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so it's like, so honestly, 2 hype sets are coming on. They're coming out on the same day. But
never mind, starter deck's coming out May 30th. I was wrong.
Oh.
So we're getting the starter deck and the booster packs on May 30. So if you guys have deep pockets, get all of them. If you guys don't have deep pockets and you're like us, you have to pick and choose and make some sacrifices. Hey, which sacrifices are we going to make? You'll have to stay tuned and find out. So hit that subscribe button.
Yep, we would appreciate it greatly.
Please.
But other than that,
I've been D.
I've been R.
And we've been DJR
Union.